Gentlemen and female gentlemen, I hope you are prepared. Your boot hole is clenched and your tittles are flittled. The Acolyte gets worse the more it's explained. Disparu just dropped this video talking about a very recent interview that Leslie Headland, this very popular and beloved creature, she recently did an interview talking about the Acolyte, explaining the deep nuances and the choices that were made, and it is fucking awful. It's like an hour long, and I didn't want to sit through all of it, but Mr. Disparu apparently put together like a good video dissecting the separate points, so this was recommended by my audience, so we are jumping into it. We're gonna see what Leslie Homelander has to say about the Acolyte, and apparently I saw a few clips of Lesbian Homelander's interview, and some of the clips are just gold. She's like, you know, I just realized that sometimes identical twins look the same! Probably the worst quote I've ever heard of all time. So, because Disney is butt-fucking me and my copyright situation on YouTube, I decided to take the fight to them and just continuously insult them and shit on every bad thing that they are doing, purely out of pettiness. You will note that my career is built on the backs of pettiness. I will never be canceled for being petty, for you see, pettiness is my ally, and cringe is my weapons. Face the flamer, heretic! All right, let's see what we got.
And with identical twins, it was very difficult to tell them apart.
Yeah, that was the quote that I saw. That quote was floating around all over the place of Lesbian Homelander just sitting there and being like, with identical twins, the problem is it's sometimes very hard to tell them apart, which is probably one of the greatest quotes I've ever seen in my entire life. It's literally up there with somehow Palpatine returned and no, it's up there. It's literally fucking up there.
The Acolyte is Leslie Headland's masterpiece.
Wait, her real name isn't Lesbian Homelander? I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing that.
And that's why it failed.
That was the thing that I was very concerned about getting out, was, you know, what Manny looked like once you saw him.
He steps forward.
Oh my fucking god. That was what she was so worried about? That they wanted to make sure that when you see the Sith, you'd be like, oh shit, look at the chiseled abs on that Sith. God damn!
With the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
This is painful. Are you kidding me? Like, they put more effort into sunlight accentuating his top muscles than the actual plot disrespecting the lore. For those of you that are not caught up with the lore, The Acolyte is a show made by Disney to butt-fuck the corpse of Star Wars. You are now caught up with the lore.
Looked like once you saw him.
He steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
Leslie Headland's interview.
It's hilarious. It's like, female fan service? Oh, you're a misogynist and a fucking bitch. Male fan service? Yeah, sunlight accentuating your top muscles.
These are like an onion. With the more clips you peel away, the more you want to cry.
It's a great fucking line. Oh my god.
Non-canon canon is the best kind of canon.
What the fuck did she just say?
Peel away, the more you want to cry.
Non-canon canon is the best kind of canon.
The best kind of canon is non-canon canon. All right, Lesbian Homelander. Who let this lady into the kitchen? Who let her into the kitchen?
And besides just laughing about how we're destroying canon.
Kayadi Mandi. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's about a birthday. But I was like, it's not
Is it really?
Oh, it was about a birthday.
Oh. The reason why they were upset about the Kiadi Mundi drama is because they got his birthday wrong. What a little petty complaint to have. They just got a guy's birthday wrong by having him born 30 years before he's supposed to be born and seeing a Sith, and the Sith were supposed to be dead for a millennia. You know, little things like birth dates. Like that Star Wars fandom is just, they're just racists, you should know.
Of course that doesn't matter. It's not important whether he existed at this time in history.
canon. How do they kind of tell you what you can and cannot do with it?
Well, there's Pablo,
Yeah.
Hidalgo. So
She also once again crushes the hopes and dreams of the interviewer, which we've already seen her do before at lightsaber colors.
How you specified specific colors. Purely aesthetic. When this saber's fighting this
Ah!
saber, time over the course.
She actually said this? I was told that she had some bad interviews in her day. I sat down here ready to see Lesbian Homelander put her dick in her mouth. I was not expecting that. Oh, the reason why we picked these certain lightsaber colors is for aesthetic purposes. It's not like there's hundreds of pages of lore in books writing about who gets what lightsaber color.
Of my life, I have
As you know, I consume all lore. I am deep diving into Star Wars lore right now. Holy shit, this is crazy. I pick lightsaber colors based on vibes.
At there and figured out ways to attribute specific colors to specific characters is blowing my mind.
Purely aesthetic.
But she crushed this one, so it's like, Wookiee Jedis are my favorite thing.
I love a Wookiee. They're my favorite characters. Cool. This
Bro, they killed him off screen!
one's a Jedi, and then he died.
Oh yeah, you killed him off screen, didn't you?
Off screen death. But we're
Wow, she is proud. It's like, listen, I'm a petty piece of shit sometimes. So when I see that someone on Twitter gets very angered by something I do, I will not lie to you. It makes me a little happy to know that I live rent-free in their head. I get canceled on Twitter like once a week on a good week. So like, I get plenty of pleasure from seeing people just lose their shit that I'm around. That said, that's my personality. This is not hers. When she says this shit, she's coping so hard. Bro, I hope you're ready for the next fucking rainbow-colored lightsaber that's gonna be coming up soon.
kind of death. Yeah.
And you can fucking mark my words on that one. That will happen.
And you get that repeatedly, where people in the audience are going, this is a really stupid idea. This is awful writing. Who on earth would do this?
May cuts her hair, and I'm like, girl, you still got that thing on your forehead.
Mm-hmm. Right? She has that whole fucking Harry Potter mark that they totally didn't rip off Harry Potter. But, oh no, don't worry. She sliced her face. No, she was supposed to look identical to her twin after giving herself a haircut. Here, but she has a whole fucking mark on her forehead.
They could just move your hair.
Oh, you just move your hair, you cover the mark, no one will notice it. No one will notice the big fucking mark on her forehead. Oh, yeah. Here, let me show you. May Acolyte mark. Yeah, so she's supposed to, she cuts her hair to look identical to her twin, but she has this whole weird circular voodoo mark on her forehead for no reason. Like this shit. Oh, you just cover that with your hair, no one will ever notice. It's not like they're Jedi, they can sense your emotions or anything. I don't even know what Jedi really do, so I'll just take a sip from my coffee to deflect from the obvious and bad writing decisions right before I put this cup of coffee on the next set of Game of Thrones.
Huh.
She's like, it's okay.
And then Leslie's like, yeah, that was stupid, wasn't it? I don't know why I even did that in the first place.
I don't know if it was the greatest idea, but she was thinking emotionally, like.
How do you actually say this? I don't know if it was a good idea to give her a whole fucking mark when we were gonna do this whole twin place switching shit, but now that... But oh well, we did it. We were thinking emotionally. It would be cool if she had a fucking Harry Potter scar on her face. Yeah, it didn't make any sense, but whatever.
She was definitely...
But this interview does explain a lot about the show, even down to highlighting where the stronger actors are actually good.
And he really built that character from the ground up. It's a very mysterious character on paper. So much of him is a secret.
As it seems like a lot of people...
Bro, is that code for I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with these characters? Oh, what do I think about this character? Well, it's there's so much secretism going on. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know myself. But you wrote the character. But it's so secret. It's even secret for me.
People had nothing to work with, and so you're simply down to the talent of the actor to try and at least draw you in a bit.
Several, writers, cast, crew. Well, we've got to preserve the surprise. This is a big reveal here. Star Wars fan and think, oh, they want me to care about this for several more episodes. And it's like, no, we're just going to do it now. And so he can murder these people. And preserving the surprise was not very important.
Preserving the surprise for the plot twist was not important for the show. Remember when everyone was guessing the plot twist for the show, that the discount Ezra Miller character was going to be the Sith Lord, and Charlie was saying, I hope that's not the case? These people have no idea what the fuck they're writing. They don't know anything. They literally don't know anything. I bet you that she has zero writing experience of any... She inherited a castle that is Star Wars, but she doesn't know how to maintain it, and it's falling apart. Bro, all the writers' strikes and shit were for this.
What was important to me was preserving the character design.
And we get
the character design was more important than the mystery. This is supposed to be a whodunit mystery show trying to figure out who's killing the Jedi. And she's like, oh, we'll just get rid of the mystery elements for the character design. Yeah, the character design's really good. Bro, get a load of this character design. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this shit. Acolyte, Sith. Right? I hope you're ready to lose your shit. This is the greatest character design you've ever seen probably in your life. It's a guy with a motorcycle helmet! This is the character design that was important to preserve? This guy? This discount Ezra Miller over here was supposed to be the incredible preserved character design? Dude, you wanna see good fucking character designs? This is Darth Revan. This character design fucks. It fucks. It is so freaking cool. This character design is awesome. Every single shot of this guy's character design, insanely cool. Okay, what about Darth Bane? You know, Darth Bane looks so awesome. Holy shit, Darth Bane looks cool. Okay, what about Darth Malik? I don't know, what about Darth Malik? He looks cool too. His jaw was sliced off by Darth Revan earlier. This is a cool freaking design. Holy crap. Okay, you don't even need to go so far back. You don't even need to look all the way in the history of Legends. General Grievous is one of the coolest character designs in the history of Star Wars. Like, it's mind-blowing that they think that the Acolyte Sith design was so important that they had to sacrifice writing and plot for this. Dude looks like I would look if, as a 4-year-old cosplaying Darth Vader, I would just put on a motorcycle helmet.
Get this about Manager Kinto, where previously she said she had to rewrite the second half of the series just to put him in. But the moment they saw him with his top off, they couldn't resist, and there was going to be a riot if he was kept out. And it turns out the rewriting that script was very short shrift, gave him nothing to work with, and just plonked him in. And she was stunned how well he did, given...
It's insane. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I can't believe it.
The literal nothing that he had to work with.
Manny was sort of dropped into the middle of this story and said, okay, now you have to take over the story. Go.
Well, doesn't that just kind of sound like a really bad idea? Doesn't that sound like a bad idea? Shouldn't the story be written first, instead of writing a story and then trying to plug characters in to come up with their own character arcs in an established story? Like, I am literally losing hope as we speak. Holy shit. She should have put more gay characters in the show. I feel like that could have maybe distracted people from the terrible writing.
Good luck, you know?
And I think that explains a lot of other actresses, because for some reason, and I don't know why, Leslie Headland thinks Amandla is a genius.
Especially if they're a genius like Amandla. You know?
Are we thinking of the same person? Isn't Amandla the one who made the diss track? No. Isn't Amandla the one that made the terrible diss track?
Again, the whole theme wouldn't work if her performance wasn't how great as it is.
As he begins.
It didn't work! You are literally shitting on her right now because it didn't actually work. Why do the writers have to carry the write? Why do the actors have to carry the writing for your show? This isn't a D&D campaign. I am floored by this. No one knows what the story is supposed to look like, and they're supposed to come up with their own character arcs? Bro, this is humiliating. Dude, she actually went on an interview to just completely explain to the world why she's a fucking idiot. This is a humiliation ritual. You are not going to convince me otherwise. This is a planned humiliation ritual to humiliate her and put all the blame on her so Disney can get away with more shit in the future. That's just a conspiracy theory. But I subscribe because no one's this fucking dumb. You know what the humiliation ritual theory is? The idea that anytime anyone gets a little powerful or gets a little sussy, suddenly they have to humiliate themselves in public, right? Like John Cena had to go out there with this freaking sign by the Oscars. Like anytime anyone gets a little too sussy, there are humiliation rituals going on, and suddenly people need to do really embarrassing shit. I don't know. Listen, it's just a theory, a game theory, but I really think that that's kind of what's going on. They're like, okay, this is shit. We're gonna throw her under the bus, and then try to pawn this off to someone else who can make more Jedi gay.
Untie a belted knot from around his waist. She straightens up for a better look.
This is somebody who has
the fuck is that? As he tangles his knot around his waist, his hands over a better look. God, the fucking cringe bat scenes in old shonen anime were more respectful than this shit.
grand total of one facial expression for 8 episodes.
Below the surface of consciousness are powerful...
Oh god, look at all this acting prowess.
...emotions.
While playing 2 different characters.
Have you told me everything that happened on Brentalk?
But it does give rise to the funniest comment in an interview I've ever seen.
This is the twin shit. The twin shit's awesome. I love it so much.
Auditioned several identical twins. And with identical twins, it was very difficult to tell them apart.
No! What? That's great. That is crazy. Guys, we've heard a lot of crazy things in our day. This, one of the biggest plot twists in anime. You see, the issue with identical twins are, some of them are hard to tell apart. This is the worst fucking thing in the world. Like, how does this person get a position this high up here? Fucking Leslie Homelander out here.
You know, there's identical twins over there, yeah? Quite hard to tell apart, aren't they? Clues at the pissing name. Who would have thought that identical twins could be identical?
It was very difficult to tell them apart.
And there's so many different ways around that. You could...
During an interview, creator Leslie Hyland stated that she understood why fans, especially those unaware of the High Republic, criticized her Jedi. However, Headland explained how the High Republic era Jedi were different than the ones in George Lucas films, allowing for a deeper exploration of the concept. Are you joking? That's not a good solution at all. As someone that's been diving into Star Wars lore for the last few weeks, I know that that's a bad explanation.
Put them in different clothes or give them a different hairstyle.
Yeah.
But instead, Leslie Headland decided that the way to tell the two identical twins apart from each other was to make all these superficial accessories around them identical.
What?
And then give them different faces.
No. That's not real. He's joking. My man Disparu over here is kitten, right? That's not real. I'm not willing to accept that.
Bifurcated as a person, as a human, as a woman, like...
One thing
What?
this interview has shown me is it's kind of confirmed a theory that I've had for a while. That the audience puts way more thought into this show than she does.
So he ended up being essentially very anti-establishment, which is obviously what...
I love how she says it like with a question mark. Anti-establishment? You mean like Anakin was, and like Luke was, and like everyone in the entire original trilogy was, and like hello? What? Why?
The rebels are. He's the voice of the counterculture of this era.
He's the counterculture. He's the counterculture. Are you crazy? Are you insane?
I think it'd explain even the difference between the people that don't like the show and the people that do. Because sometimes it feels like they're watching different shows. And instead, I think they're just watching it from different angles. The people that don't like it are watching the episode and judging the episode they have in front of them.
You get nauseous when you travel through hyperspace? I find it unsettling.
Do you get nauseous when you travel through hyperspace? I find it personally upsetting. This is a Jedi Master. Jedi Master's tummy irks in hyperspace. I want to die. I want to be killed. If I die, it's not suicide, okay? I'm just saying, if I die, I have no suicidal thoughts. Zero suicidal thoughts.
And the people that like it are watching the episode and judging the mythical series that lies ahead of them and all of the potential that it has.
I disagree. I don't think that that's the discussion over here. I think some people are watching the show and judging it based on a show. And other people do not exist. I don't think there are two factions here. I think everyone unanimously hates this show. I've never spoken to anyone that likes it. Whether you're a right wing or you're left wing or you're no wings. It doesn't matter how many or few wings you have. This show is fucking awful. It is a fake ass push done by the fucking Disney overlords to try to push some sort of either agenda or thought process down your throat. No one likes it. This show is bad. There aren't two groups. There is one group of people who unanimously agree the show is shit, and then you have a couple of copers out there hoping that they can sway people into liking it through propaganda.
This is the ultimate mouth breather right here.
But like, again, is this supposed to trigger some sort of nostalgia for Darth Vader's breathing apparatus? God damn, this is brutal. It's painful.
And that's not including all the journalists which are basically just thirsty.
The Acolyte fan base has found its sexiest Sith alive in an unexpected place. The Acolyte fan base found its sexiest. This is a real article written by real people. See, again, this is not something that anyone fucking cares about, okay? I believe that this is someone paid by Disney to write something positive about the article. That is everything that people are doing the entire time. People are trying to push some sort of narrative that this show is actually good through the public channels, and they think that if they push enough propaganda into it, people will actually start retroactively liking the show. But we all know who the actual sexiest Sith is. We all know who the sexiest Sith is, guys. I don't want to be controversial. I don't want to get hate for it. But there is only one sexiest Sith. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the one, the only, Darth Ballsack himself. There is no other answer. Anyone that says anything against this peak male body type, I think that they are honestly racist. I don't want to hear from them. This is the ideal male figure, and I will hear no arguments. Infinite power! The dark side has many skills that some may find unnatural. And some would be the sexiest Sith.
No, instead, it's the ones that write things into the show to try and excuse it. These are the kind of people that will look at a plot hole, at bad writing, and go, ooh, that's clearly a sign of things to come in the future.
He's right. He's right.
Just, no, it was a plot hole. It just didn't make sense.
No, he's 100% right. Every time there's a plot hole, you have people saying, well, you haven't considered this from a different perspective. And then they're going to start giving you this whole shit about how it might make sense later. No, it was a plot hole. Shut the fuck up.
I usually get a little warning before that happens.
What's in the desk?
Dude, this is such a pile of shit. Dude, this may look like a pile of shit and smell like a pile of shit, but it's actually good, all right? Listen, I would say that 94% of the people that watch this don't understand it. That's why they all hate it.
Desperate need for them to try and make it make sense. They turn it into this big plot point. Come up with various different theories. Oh, actually, this is...
8 ways the Acolyte is totally copying The Last Jedi. This is not a compliment. Wait, are people recognizing that the Acolyte is so bad they're gaslighting themselves into thinking the sequel trilogy is actually good?
Referencing something greater than itself? Are they on Acto? No.
Wait, what?
Or actually, this is referencing something greater than itself. Are they on Act?
Are Kimira and Osha on Acto? The landscape is similar. Oh my fucking god, you're joking. You're actually kidding me. This is not a real Screen Rant article. See, this is the copium that the fucking Disney figureheads out there are pushing onto these articles, that they have to write positive shit, and this is what they can come up with.
Acto? No. Was she actually in Rey's costume? No.
What? Who cares?
Is there something about that helmet that can allow her to unlock her force power?
You're joking me! The helmet unlocks her force powers as a theory?
Even though that doesn't make any sense because she studied as a Jedi for 19 years. All of this comes from the desperate need to
make it make sense.
Screen Rant themselves talked about the problem, that there just isn't enough time to actually have character development.
Yeah, the big problem with the Acolyte is there are too few episodes. I agree. I think the Acolyte should get the One Piece treatment. I think it should go on for 20 years without missing a week. That would actually improve the Acolyte, in my opinion. See, if they actually had that level of commitment, then maybe we'd get more content to make out of it and more shit to spit on Disney. See, a lot of people think that I'm upset about the Acolyte. I want to make this very clear. To all of you that are in another tab, come back to this tab. Ladies and gentlemen, I love that the Acolyte is exposing Disney for the piece of shit that they have always been. I love the fact that the Acolyte's around, and I am sad that the Acolyte is not longer. You heard correctly. I wish the Acolyte had a good 100 episodes. You have any idea how much content I would have to make? Do you have any idea how much more Disney would get exposed for their garbage? Yeah, sorry about that. God, bro, but it's a glorious day. It's a glorious day. This is the correct take. Disney just showed up at my door. They heard me praising the Acolyte. They came to give me a contract.
Which isn't true if it was done properly. Once again, they're interpreting lack of talent as, oh, they just didn't have time, but if we gave them more...
You want to know the ultimate, the actual ultimate disapproval of this concept that the Acolyte would be better with more episodes? Do you know what the longest show is? Well, maybe not the longest ever, but one of the longest? One Piece. Did you know that One Piece's first season of the Netflix adaptation is only 8 episodes? 8 episodes. One Piece is 8 episodes, and it's great. Arcane is 9 episodes, and it is maybe one of the best shows ever made. And there are gay women. So, like, what is your excuse?
More time. Then you just see more drawn-out lack of talent. Paint drying on a wall emotes more than she can. But they describe the problem in how the character arcs are going in the show. That it doesn't make any sense for Osha and May's arcs to be effectively fleshed out. It makes things seem rushed. As Kamir suggesting Osha just doesn't make any sense. 20 minutes ago, he was...
None of it makes any sense at all. What? I'm literally gonna cry. They didn't have enough time to flesh out Osha to go joining the dark side. Why would she join the dark side? Her family was killed. She went to the Jedi. She became a Jedi. She ended up leaving. She was always a good guy. She was trying to hunt down Well, she meets a sexy Sith for 5 seconds and becomes fucking groomed to the dark side. If they groom Osha to the dark side, then you are making the ultimate anti-feminism story of all time. Like, it would be the ultimate twist of all time if, in fact, every single female character in the show just gets rizzed by a hot dude and brings him to that side of the Force. Yeah, that would be fucking good shit.
Slaughtering all of her most important friends. And then she wakes up on a beach and immediately just starts wanting to bang him.
As he begins to untie a belted knot from around his waist, she straightens up for a better look.
This is fucking crazy. This is awful. Honestly, I've never seen a show disrespect women more than The Acolyte. In their triumphant attempt for lesbian Homelander to make this a good show, a show that respects women and gay people. The gay people in this show were all idiots. They all got burnt alive because one kid lit a book on fire. And then, it's mind-blowing. Like, the irony. This is Velma all over again. Velma accidentally made Fred, the rich white guy, the best character in the show. By complete accident, they tried their best to make it worse. They accidentally made Fred awesome. And here you have the Acolyte accidentally making all gay people and all women look like complete idiots. Like, you can't make this shit up. Reality is literally funnier than fiction. And you say that you don't want the Acolyte to be longer? Of course I want the Acolyte to be longer.
It simply won't be believable if Osha quickly accepts and moves on from Khmer's brutal murder of Jackie and Yord. Like, if I forgave him for that, it'd be perfectly within character. I laughed. But it doesn't make sense for Osha. Now, people who are judging the show as it exists in front of them, in reality, they just go, that's terrible script writing. This is somebody who has no talent and shouldn't be making $180 million TV shows. Whereas Screen Rant, they can see the problem. They can see the plot hole. They can point to it. But they'll either excuse it by going, there just isn't enough time in 8 episodes to make it make sense.
See, again, you tell me that this is not somebody that was written, that was told to do this by Disney. That Disney didn't tell these people to make a positive article about the Acolyte. There is no doubt that is what they were told. Bro, they recognize the plot hole, and instead of using it as criticism, they say, oh, well, it's the fault that they only got $180 million to make this show. They didn't actually get $360 million to make this show, and 2 seasons worth of material? That would have made it a lot better. You see, each episode should have been a feature-length movie, and then it would have been good. But, oh, the fans are going crazy again.
Or worse, look at those future episodes and assume it'll be explained. The same website comes back with, the Sith helmet scene may be more important than I realized.
Who the fuck are you?
And this is the same writer. So in one, she notices the problem and goes, there just wasn't enough time to make it make sense. Hang on, maybe it's actually deep and complicated.
It's almost like Disney is paying off people to write fake fluff piece articles about them or something, but that couldn't be real. That's just fake news.
And secretly well written.
Preserving the surprise was not very important. Like, what was important to me was preserving the character design.
Khmer's helmet
that's the worst fucking thing I've ever heard.
May be connected to a powerful Sith Lord, Darth Momin. Maybe.
Oh my god, are you joking?
It possesses the same powers, and that the mask might
there is so much Star Wars lore. Anything that you could think of probably exists in Star Wars lore by the fact that there's 1,400-page novels about Star Wars going through the rich timeline. Anything can tie to anything. But, like, trying to just see shit and say, oh, this does make sense in the Star Wars lore because it is one thing that happened that one time in book 4,000. Bro. This is awful.
Possess and control her, as they could be corrupted by the mask if they were left alone in an enclosed space, although he did it with glowing red eyes, as any evil object should have. That's how we know that May turned that robot evil when she factory reset it.
Reset me to factory settings.
But what evidence?
Did she just stare the robot into submission? Did she just fucking stare at the robot and it became a submissive and breedable friend? Just fucking. Bro, if Disney does send their fucking Sith to assassinate me at some point, I really hope they triple tap like this guy, because I don't want to be coming back to this shit.
Evidence that they have that these are linked at all? Well, both Khmer's and Momin's helmet were cracked. No,
it all fits! It makes perfect sense! Bro, really? Really?
They have that these are linked at all? Well, both Khmer's and Momin's helmet were cracked.
Honestly, it's all settled. You know, basically, we were foolish for not seeing what the writers were really putting together. We were fools for not seeing the masterful tapestry that was being sprawled before us.
Oh, that's literally the connection.
Oh God, I hate these sounds!
I think this is why the show was pitched as being a mystery. Do you remember all those Rotten Tomato reviews? The central mystery involving a cover-up murder and revenge is inherently intriguing, despite how predictable it is. The Acolyte wants us to fill in the gaps, highlighting what is really interesting is not what we're seeing, but what we're not.
Dude, everyone keeps talking about the Acolyte like it's some mystery piece, and then she says, the fucking lesbian Homelander in the interview, and she sits there and she's like, yeah, God, we don't really care about the mystery or the surprise. We care more about the exposition.
When you make something a mystery, the writer doesn't have to do the work. The reviewers do it for them. This is incredibly intriguing. It's not the answers that are intriguing, but they just like theorizing it and making stuff up. They want you to fill in the gaps because anything you come up with will be far better than what you're actually going to do.
Bro, your headcanon is better than the Disney canon, so if you just keep filling in the gaps... Bro, I love how the fucking Disney writers are all like, this plot is impregnable, it is airtight, and then give me 2 Star Wars fans and some headcanon and I'll impregnate the bitch. Get out of here, bro. God. Again, I think these writers are all paid off by Disney. I think that they are literally all paid off by Disney. And you will not convince me otherwise.
Or what they're capable of. What a review this. I never saw this one. The Acolyte might not be the misandrous hyper-leftist propaganda that the online trolls are eager to paint it as, but its incorporation of the unusual in its sci-fi trappings.
It doesn't say unusual, it says the incorporation of queerness.
Make the world feel, for the first time in a long time, full of possibilities.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is not a real review. See, whenever I see this shit, I like, it really just makes me believe that this is not actually true. No, everyone that immediately loves to frame all the Acolyte haters as racists and shit, like, it's obviously not that. It's obviously not that. If everyone hates it, okay? Women hate it. Men hate it. Charlie hates it. He is not political, and he hates it, okay? Everyone hates it. It's bad. It's just a really bad show. It is just very not good. Kids hate it. They don't fucking, their frontal lobe wasn't developed enough to know that they're supposed to be racist yet. And they hate it. Get out of here, freaking paid ass reviews. This isn't real.
Hey, now you can shove it in any hole in Star Wars. It's just full of possibilities.
When he says Vader was seduced by the dark side, that made me feel weird because I was a kid and I didn't really understand what that word meant. And then later,
what? When Vader got seduced to the dark side, it made her feel weird?
later when I did, I was like, what's he talking about?
The series.
Vader being seduced to the dark side is probably one of the greatest plot points of the entire fucking Star Wars. Like, the idea that Anakin was a boy, he came from nothing, he was a slave, taken by Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon was his father figure. His father figure was killed by a Sith. Over the years, he didn't actually have a father figure to support him. He just had masters. He had a brother in Obi-Wan, and the masters weren't treating him. They weren't including him. They weren't treating him properly. The only person that actually did give him time was Palpatine. Palpatine was the only character out there who actually kind of was his father figure. It makes a lot of sense that he joined the dark side. It's like actually the best part of the entire writing. Do you think when it said he was seduced to the dark side, he had sex with Darth Sidious? Because I don't think that's canon.
It is built on mysteries. Its value will come from whether it has satisfying answers, and we won't know that until the final episode.
Are you joking? How do you watch 7 episodes of a show and say, well, listen, it's a 3 out of 5. I mean, listen, I hated every minute of it, but the last episode might be so satisfying, I'll love it.
That's the key point. Much like Doctor Who, it dragged a load of fans through the entire series, got to the end where there isn't actually any answers, and then they got annoyed. The Guardian did this with Rings of Power. So astounding. It makes House of the Dragon look amateur.
That's fucking blasphemous. House of the Dragon is the best show on television right now. Like, I can't believe that these people are this brain dead. How are they so brain dead? House of the Dragon is the best show on television. The latest episode of House of the Dragon, episode 4, I believe, of season 2, It was heartbreaking. My throat, my mouth, blah, 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 I can't even speak. My heart was in my throat that entire fight scene for the last 10 minutes of that episode. That is peak fiction that's going on right now. But Rings of Power, the unanimously hated Lord of the Rings prequel, is up there. Like, these people, like, they don't fucking lie to their wives as much as they lie to these people. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm looking at. Like, this is obviously staged and paid for, right? This is Disney and Amazon paying for this garbage. Like, there is no way this is an objective review that a real human being with eyes can have. This is why all mainstream journalism is garbage and YouTubers are taking over the world. And that's why YouTubers constantly get slandered by mainstream journalists. People hating on PewDiePie and Mr. Beast for years in the mainstream because they fucking hate that they have so much more power and integrity than these motherfuckers.
Only to be followed up with, now it's over, let's go out and say it. Rings of Power was a stinker. This has happened many...
What a fucking loser.
Many times people watch a series, think it's great, and then after...
Mainstream Jews, yeah, I meant to say mainstream news, and then I had a Freudian slip, and then I remembered that the Jews they control the audience. So mainstream news and mainstream Jews are kind of the same thing. It's just a classic Floridian slip, as they say.
After it's finished, be like, hang on, I really did suck.
That was a joke. Don't take me down for hate speech, YouTube. That was obviously a joke. Please don't. Listen, I'm not like my boy Tech Lead over here with his incredibly hot takes. Let me see if I can find one of his hot takes for just as an example. Get a load of this one, baby.
Okay. You know what's funny? I even saw this article. I can't find it anymore. Someone can reference it maybe. But it noted how it was this group of fanatical Jewish people who had massive disdain for the rest of the other Jewish people who actually caused the Holocaust.
Oh, according to Tech Lead, with no evidence, he Jews caused the Holocaust. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. I respect it. Fucking crazy piece of shit. Yeah, hot take. Hot take, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't it? And this might be why mystery boxes are becoming more and more popular all over the place, because it's an easy way to win off a certain section of the audience. The people that don't just judge the show as it exists in its present form, but love theory crafting and talking about it with other people, trying to come
Honestly, I have a completely different take than Mr. Dispyro. Great video. I love the way you're breaking this down and how the mainstream journalist shitholes are all garbage. Honestly, based. I disagree with you that they are judging it based on some proverbial magic ending that the show might have. They are not doing that. They are not basing the show on a magic ending. They are fucking paid off to say it's good. The end. I do not even want to entertain the possibility that this is actually someone legitimately believing this. No one believes this. They're not judging it based on some magic ending. No! They're being paid off to say it's good. To counter the misogynists that go against the propaganda machine that is Disney. Okay? Like, get out of here.
The answers for the plot holes, when they're actually just plot holes. And Hollywood loves this idea because it means that they come across far more intelligent than they actually are, as we've seen in the Leslie Headland interview.
Non-canon canon.
Who? Oh, you mean lesbian Homelander.
Is the best kind of canon. And with identical
Not canon. Canon is the best kind of canon, ladies and gentlemen. That's a line for the fucking books.
twins, it was very difficult to tell them apart.
It's very difficult to tell apart identical twins, you know. Lesbian Homelander said it.
Means that you have people coming out and defending your terrible plot to other people, even though they are absolutely and entirely correct. We saw that in episode 3.
I carried them. I created them.
And I saw it on
the greatest argument of all time. She carried the babies, but she created the babies. The ultimate debate. Who is the real mommy with vetoing power?
Twitter yesterday, where someone had tweeted a simulation of two black holes colliding in space. So I said the last time two black holes smashed together, Ocean and May were created.
Oh, God, bro! No.
I told you this planet would be a safe haven for our coven.
This was made very clear in the episode itself, and yet, well, if we're going to have to defend it, we're going to have to theory craft it instead. Just ignore what it said in the actual show. Some people are saying it was a forced birth. The problem is, we don't have any idea if that's true. That's just what everyone is assuming, due to what was put in the episode. You're just leaping to conclusions.
Did people actually try their best to make believe that this isn't a lesbian force birth, immaculate conception shit? They're saying that this is the headcanon. Maybe there was a dick involved. Maybe there was a dick and balls that was somewhere off screen. Is that really what you're saying? Really? How? This is not theory crafting anymore. This is not this. They're a commune of lesbian space witches that did power of one, power of two, power of many fucking bullshit to impregnate each other with the Force, arguing about one saying I created her, one saying I carried her. It is not weird headcanon to say that... Guys, I hate to be that guy, but they're actually onto something. It was actually me. It was my penis that impregnated the space witches. Now, you're not going to see anywhere in the show where it disagrees with this fact. It was me this whole time. I am the true father of Osha and her identical sister that looks similar.
I carried them. I created them.
Because
and I was the penis.
it wasn't literally spoon-fed to you and given in the exact specific wording that you require. Oh, we can't possibly know. The mystery box, or terrible storytelling, leaves room not only for people to theorize, and so they think the show is better than it is, and, well, until they get to the finale anyway and get disappointed.
The most important person in the universe was the most ordinary.
What?
That lamppost, she was naming you.
By which time it's...
What the fuck am I watching? Is that Doctor Who? That's so bullshit. No.
Too late, as they've spent 8 weeks defending the show, but it also leads all the people criticizing the show for other people to come in. It didn't say that specifically, did it?
I carried them. I created them.
I mean, yes, it did tell you that's what it was, but it didn't specifically say the words. It did rely on you having an IQ of over 25 in order to work out the rest. Now, to anyone else, this level of conversation would be incredibly embarrassing.
And with
No, it's honestly humiliating that the show's like, all right, we want you to go through mental hula hoops and mental gymnastics to understand why the show is actually deep and awesome. But at the same time, we don't want you to think at all, like zero. We don't want you to use any form of media literacy to say this is some sort of lesbian space witch cult. Nope. They were not lesbians. The penises were in the other room.
Identical twins, it was very difficult to tell them apart.
But
yeah, that's a good take. She's pretty right about that.
And again, there's people so stupid they project that onto others. It is funny though when you talk about leaping to conclusions. And yet I bet he'd have no problem going, oh yeah, this mask is definitely possessing her, isn't it? It's the only explanation for the storyline. And
yep. Magic mask that's possessing her. I'll buy that. It's Darth Momin. Classic Darth Momin shenanigans. The mask is even cracked, just like Darth Momin's mask. They're the same.
Did exactly the same thing multiple times. As was shown, is Chimera a Knight of Ren? And it turns out, no. Actually, no. Yes, they did deliberately put Kylo Ren's music over it, but then everyone leapt to conclusions that he was a Knight of Ren, when really, Leslie Headland just meant he's really hot, isn't he? Oh.
He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back.
On his well-toned back. They really needed to add that. The Acolyte proved what the female fans knew all along. The powerful sex appeal of the dark side. What am I watching right now? Are these real people? What is even going on? I can't get over this shit. Dude, I'm fucking floored. How is this a real thing? But ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Asajj Ventress, every woman's sexiest choice of hot characters on the dark side. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here, the sex appeal of the dark side, everybody. For women only. Don't get any thoughts, intrusive thoughts in your head, guys. The Acolyte proved what the female fans knew all along, the powerful sex appeal of the dark side. Is that really what the point of the show is? It's like, Star Wars was a boys' show, so now we're going to make a season of just generic hot dudes. While also simultaneously making fun of men. And killing only white people.
Just proved what female fans knew all along, that being evil is actually really attractive.
I don't know, I've been on Book Talk. I think that this is just a known fact at this point.
I mean, yes, he is a loser, and he's got a weird face, but he's evil, and that makes him hot.
She straightens up for a better look.
And I'd like to say this was like a one-off occasion, or no, there's something like hard-coded into this specific fan base that does that kind of thing. I don't know if anyone's ever realized there was a time when Pennywise was deemed as a sex symbol.
It makes sense to me. I don't know. There's something. What is even going on? This world. So, first of all, he still is. Second of all, are you not familiar with the sexy Tumblr man? The sexy Tumblr man is one of my favorite genders of characters. This is my favorite gender. The sexy Tumblr man are like the troll characters that Tumblr all considers incredibly sexy, like Sans and Bill Cipher. But you want to see something truly insane? Book Talk screenshots. All right. Insane. You know, I'll even put insane in the search. Alright? Book Talk girlies belong to the bikers. Book Talk drama. Dude, these aren't even the good shit. These are the boring ones. There's some crazy ass Book Talk shit. POV, you told your SIG other you'd be done reading by the time they get back to work. There's some really rapey Book Talk shit. When I see any moderately attractive man in the poetry section of the indie bookstore. When you're reading a self-published book that probably wasn't edited. Meeting fellow bookworms, they turn out to be judgment. Blah, 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 blah. The amnesia trope. The grumpy villain standing right behind her. Oh, God, dude. Oh. Books I'd sell my soul to read again for the first time. Wait, what's the book talk? Insane women. There's like a whole trend here of complete psychos. Oh, I'm on book talk too. You are on the Colleen Hoover side of book talk. I am on the Dostoevsky and Kafka side. We are not the same. Oh my fucking God. So yeah, we all knew, and all these guys, let's see, the book talk. Steamy werewolf romance. Yeah! Yeah, we really need a Disney. Okay, all right, you know, honestly, yeah, get me out of here. I'm done.
Now, we all know it's not because of how he looks, but nevertheless, he did become their kind of icon with a face painted for the gods. Another horror villain has become an icon. Welcome to the fam. The literal embodiment of evil. Just like Khmer, and of course, just like Sauron.
If, like, Sauron is hot, I feel like people will be like, I can fix him.
Do you think we're going to see another side of Sauron?
What is even going on?
Yes. Like, maybe he falls in love. People are gonna fall in love with him and be like, I can change him. I can fix him.
This is also something that keeps popping up on a regular basis. But my favorite ones are how they've included...
Oh my God, I know where he's going with this. 13 queer-coded gay villains from our childhood. Lord Farquaad, how on earth? What? No. So, dude, here's a video that I really, so many people have told me to react to this. Dude, this is a 48-minute video, Shrek 2, a queer masterpiece, where, like, he'll...
What is the most impactful queer movie? Is it Pride? Is it Moonlight? Is it that one episode of The Last of Us where Nick Offerman's tiny face made me cry like a little child?
I'm gonna love you for a long... Look at his face.
It's clearly Shrek 2.
And then he does a 48-minute video describing why Shrek 2 is actually a queer masterpiece. Bro waffles for 48 minutes talking about why Shrek 2 is a queer masterpiece, bro, unironically.
By outing him to the world, to drug Fiona and force her to fall in love with Prince Charming.
You can't force someone to fall in love.
I beg to differ. I do it all the time.
Literally. Compulsory heterosexuality.
Bro, compulsory heterosexuality. It's been there all along! It has been there all along! Yeah. That was just a random skip, by the way. I swear to God, I did not know what I was skipping to. I randomly skipped somewhere into the video, okay? That there, compulsory heterosexuality.
This is also something that keeps popping up on a regular basis, but my favorite ones are how they've included the Joker and literally Satan.
Yeah, turns out Satan's a gay icon. Little did you know.
This is why none of their criticisms of the Jedi ever stick. The Jedi are a bunch of deranged monks, and you're like, yeah, but I've seen who you like. I've seen what makes you cheer. I've seen who you're attracted to. No wonder you don't like the good guys. You even have Inverse arguing for why Osha should turn. I mean, he's invited Osha to let go and just embrace her emotions like a child. An adult realizes that your emotions are irrelevant. Get over yourself, you child. And they're like, no, embrace them like a kid would. Open your...
Bro, I'm not reading through this too deeply, right? I am not reading through this too deeply to say that, unironically, without even exaggeration, this is making fun of women, right? This show is actively making fun of women. It's despicable. And the woman met up with the sexy man and will stop denying her emotions. She'll let her emotions control her completely because women are emotional creatures. No? This is not what we're watching right now?
Yourself up to them. Who wouldn't be seduced by that? Obviously, seduction is something that Leslie Headland twisted.
Vader was seduced by the dark side. That made me feel weird.
Vader being seduced to the dark side.
Seduced to the dark side and there isn't even a sexy man?
You just imagine someone with a big, massive, two-handed dragon. Whoa!
And I didn't really understand what that word meant. And then later when I did, I was like, what's he talking about?
They simply write what they're obsessed by.
Sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
And so because they can't think on the abstract level of ideas, no, instead everything has to be dragged down to the level of a child. Instead, they have to talk about their own internal thoughts. So without the greater depth of things which are outside of you, they can only think about their feelings, or who they're attracted to, or which place they want to stick it. This is why these shows have declined, and the writing has declined, and because the ideas and themes within them have been dragged down to such a base level.
It's shit. It's so shit. See, the thing that I love about Star Wars, and especially reliving it through the lore and the Clone Wars like I am right now, Star Wars is a story that's so good because it hits every single demographic is hit by Star Wars. I feel like as an adult, you'll appreciate the political nuances of Star Wars, the death of freedom, the Republic dying, the strategies, the warfare, the proxy war that goes on in the Clone Wars. And as a child, I think you could appreciate just random kid from some planet ends up becoming awesome, fights against these bad guys, epic lightsaber duels and conflicts. Like, I feel like it is a show that everyone can enjoy on some level. And I feel like Disney just doesn't get it. At all.
What does Osha want? What would her present moral code crumble under if she was offered?
Sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
And I think for Osha, it's something more emotional.
They're being written by people.
It's emotional. You see, she's just a whammon. She's just a whammon, and she's just a ball of emotions. And like other women that are seduced by hot men and are just emotional creatures, she's like...
Get the lowest stock than they were before. People are incapable of thinking on any great depth, and so everything's just like, I'm attracted to that. It's less about important themes and ideas, and it's more animalistic and instinctual. Driven by base impulses, with no thought about...
Driven by greed and money. Driven by pushing a propaganda. Driven by shitting on things that people love. Driven by a humiliation ritual of everyone. Driven by lesbian Homelander.
The future, or what's going to happen there. No, it's just, there's an evil guy in front of me, I could bang him now, completely forgetting any more longitudinal ideas of principles or goals of where you would like your life to take you. Maybe...
No, none of that matters. Why are you thinking with your head? You should be thinking with your emotions.
Want to become a Jedi. No, but he is hot though. Whoa. You even get to see what she thinks of Kamir's beliefs. And this is what I thought it was in the episode, but it's such an evil perspective. I was half joking when I said it.
Saying, when he says, I want freedom, they're like, well, yeah, everybody, how can you not want that?
That he just wants to be free. It's like, oh, everyone wants freedom, don't...
Are you joking? Is that actually what the Sith Lord's major goal is? Freedom? His goal is freedom? This guy's a Sith. Are you serious? That is actually what his ideology is once it's introduced? His big plot is because he wants freedom? Dude, you're a Sith. The whole idea of the Sith is the rule of two right now. For the last 1,000 years, passing down from master to apprentice to break the dark side to eventually destroy the Jedi. That was literally the plan the entire time. So he's a Sith, but he's not a Sith. The Sith are all about power, but this guy just wants to be a hippie. So he's a Sith with zero Sith ideologies, and he wants to destroy a democracy. Like, I don't understand. He wants freedom, so why does he hate this democracy so much? You can do whatever the fuck you want. I can't believe it. How is this real? Are they really trying to make the Jedi the fucking oppressors? They had their issues, don't get me wrong, even in the actual lore, but like, this is insane.
Yeah, that's what's meant to make you like him, be seduced by him, agree with him. Despite the fact that when he says freedom, he means free to kill people.
Freedom.
The bro says freedom. He's just 2 steps away from getting the rumbling to wipe out the fucking humanity.
To wield my power the way I like.
That's not freedom! Oh my god, this guy's insane! It's like he believes in freedom. What type of freedom? Oh, the freedom to, murder people the way he wants. The freedom to just, kill people. Oh my god, I can't believe this. This is a nightmare.
No, I don't think you should have freedom if you want to go and kill people. No.
So now I have to kill every single last one of you. I don't make the rules.
Is that just believing things that you're told in school leads you down bad roads? Because if you don't think about them, you'll just go, oh, freedom's a good thing, equality's a good thing, without ever actually analyzing to see...
He believes in equality, so he's just gonna murder whoever he wants. Then you have some guy brought to tears by the wholesomeness of all that. He should have changed it. It's like, I believe in freedom. Freedom to say the N-word even if I'm not black. See if that gets across. Everyone will be like, oh, that's bad! Killing people? Okay, whatever. Saying the N-word if you're not black? Oh, no, dude, it crossed the line.
Actually, is it? And so, when these shows are made at such a narrow and thin level, they're all as shallow as a duck's backside. They instead...
How would you know how shallow a dog's backside is, sir? With all due respect, Mr. Disparu, how would you know the shallowness of a dog's backside? Have you tested dogs to get some sort of, you know, honestly, you don't answer that.
Ed, leave it to the audience to theorize about it, to try and add depth to it, to create something that isn't there. And so, as they fill in the plot holes with things which won't actually happen, but do provide the show enough defensive arguments in order to get to next week, where people will be talking about whatever the new topic is that they failed at, it does, intentionally or not, provide them with positive and defensive news cover throughout the runtime of the show. And while with any corporate press, there's probably always the element of they just want access.
I disagree. I think that he's giving them too much credit. That they're just trying to... I think they're being paid off. They have to be paid off. No one is this blind.
Do also have to wonder if maybe it's just because they can't truly appreciate just how low the level of Hollywood has sunk. And so they're always there trying to search for a solution. Makes sense.
I think this guy's a lot more glass half full than I am. He's like, well, at least the journalists, they're trying. They should never have been allowed into the kitchen, but they're trying to cook. Nah, bro. They're fucking bought propagandists. They're being paid. I don't believe in any of this bullshit. Screen Rant is making money because they are propaganda machines. No one reads Screen Rant articles, okay? Screen Rant articles are unanimously only read to shit on. I have never read some gaming journalism article if it wasn't expressly for the purpose of shitting on it. People have ad blockers too. They are not making money off of you. They're not making money off of people. They're not trying to give some sort of popular opinion that people look up to. They are propaganda machines being paid by the bigger companies. I really believe that. This is bullshit. Like, there's no way that this is just people actually coping and trying so hard to that they like the show that they're trying to explain it in a way that it makes it better.
Of the jigsaw chaos, when really the answer's far more simple. These people are thick as pig shit. Well, those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, this was crazy. I didn't realize the whole thirst trap, sexy approach that this man kept bringing up. Anyway, that was a good video all in all. Even though we have slightly different conclusions, that was a banger video. Holy shit, this rabbit hole is so much worse than I thought. But anyway, it's not easy to be this petty. I try very hard to be a petty man and make fun of Disney whenever I get the opportunity. Because I really try to be petty. I try to make fun of them, but sometimes it just hurts too much. 10,000 likes and we'll keep making fun of Disney. Less than 10,000 likes and I'll probably keep making fun of Disney. Bye! If you made it to the end, click one of these two videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kick. Stay weird, fam!